Hey, this is Topher from Magnolia, and this is the wrap-up video for the component sharing contest. I'll quickly show you the entries and announce the winner. So first, I want to make a big thanks to everybody who participated. I know that some of you contributed your own time after work to create and share these, so hats off to all of you for making the contest a success. You can check out all the entries on mjanelle.io ld-open source. I want to say that our panel of judges were impressed. All the submissions are components that they can imagine using on projects. So now, with these entries, developers have the out-of-the-box MTK components to use on projects, but they also have access to this growing ecosystem of components that you can add a la carte to your projects. So how does that work? Well, they're all shared on NPM. So you can search NPM for Magnolia, or more precisely, Magnolia Light Module. And you're going to get all light modules ready to go from Magnolia, including the contest entries and other entries. And now we've even made an improvement to our command line interface so that you can search from the comfort of your command line. I just use the CLI and search. And this gives me the response of all the light modules that are ready to use. Or if I want to search for something in particular, for example, a map, now I get two components that I can check out to see if they're right for my project. All right, so let's get to the whirlwind tour of the contest entries. All of the entries have really good documentation in the form of a README, so that's going to be the quickest way to survey the entries. Yeah, so we have featured cards, Magnolia from Jordi Depavine, who works at Trim, and this one basically lets you have teasers to any pages within your website, and it'll automatically grab images if they're available, and you can also override the image from the page with your own custom image. Next we have an accordion component from Marvin Kerkhoff from Arato. This is the classic Bootstrap accordion. You can click on the title and it expands or contracts a region. Then we have a social share component. So this is very straightforward, very easy to use. Just drop it on your page and then you can choose if you want Facebook sharing, Twitter sharing, or Google Plus sharing. And nothing else needs to be configured. That's from Martin Kuhlmann. And here's another one from Martin, from Tricode, also relying on Bootstraps for tabs. And this is pretty handy. You can very easily just click the Add button to add additional tabs, and then each tab can have some title text and some rich text. Then we have the Bootstrap carousel. This is also from Tricode, from Martin Kuhlmann. And this lets you set up a carousel, and in a similar fashion you can just add them, and you can assign which image you want, the title, and a description for the slide. Then we have a more sophisticated component here. This one's from Dragan Velkovsky. That's the Magnolia Calendar Planner, and this one even lets somebody create events within the calendar. So you can pre-configure events. It makes an interface like this, and then if somebody clicks on an item, they can create an event, and this gets stored via REST to the Magnolia backend. From Prabhat Jain, we have a YouTube component. Who's that guy? This has a lot of options for configuring your YouTube. You can have the autoplay selected, you can have it set to loop or not, you can disable the controls. Then we have Navigation Magnolia. This one is from Jeremy Summers, Jameson Martin, and Nate Peters from Crescendo Collective. This actually provides two options for a navigation. So you can have a dynamic navigation that automatically builds a nice nav just based on the page hierarchy, but there's also a managed navigation, and this lets you build a really, you take complete control, you can totally design your navigation using the provided dialog. So this is really, really handy. But then we have a very unique one. This is from Burning Duck, Jan Rösler and Peter Höfling. Well, basically it lets you view GitHub repositories. It's pretty nice looking. It comes with styling and everything, so you can configure which repositories you want to display information about. But really it's a little deeper than that. It's actually demonstrating a JavaScript framework which lets you manage React components in a CMS. And I just learned today that they actually built this framework called Rehace. So it's a combination of React, something called React Habitat from Deloitte, and Cerebral. And Cerebral is kind of an alternative to Redux or MobX for managing state in React applications. And then from Matthias Müller, we have Google Maps Magnolia. You just need to have an API key for a Google Map, and then you can put in any location, you can set the zoom level, set the language, which type of map you want, and you get a map on your page. Or there's also a directions component where instead of putting one location in, you can put in two locations, an origin and a destination, the transport mode, and it's going to actually put directions in the component on your page. Yeah, so those are the 10 components, and the winner is... First, let me say, how do we judge the contests? We had 3 criteria: developer usability. How easy is it for a developer to understand what a component does? Because that's obviously important when you're looking for a component. And then how easy is it to use? How much configuration is required? The second criteria was practicality. How likely is it that a developer is going to need your component? And then the third most objective criterion is the coolness. Now I can announce it. The winner is Matthias Müller with the Google Maps Magnolia. So Matthias, you've just won a Ricoh Theta S 360-degree video camera. How do you feel? All right, so the contest is over. Enjoy the new components and consider joining the community of contributors and publish your own component.